pretty neat, huh?
That's pretty cool.
Right, they get it going because we're going to stay healthy that way. We're going to stay healthy here this way. Dr. Christine Horner, you brought some mushrooms.
I did.
I noticed that.
They're not the kind you think.
They're not those kind, right?
No.
This is one of those days. It's one of those kind of crazy days. I feel right?
It could be.
Yeah.
So tell us, we're talking about nutrients. We're talking about, especially around age. I know that there's some in your book and other places that you're talking a lot about the ages in which we need certain things.
Right. Yeah. So what we found is that various different nutrients are important all the time, but there's certain ages where you actually, you know, there's certain ones that are really important. So for instance, vitamin D3.
Okay.
So there's been just tons of research on it, knowing that it helps to lower your risk of all sorts of different kinds of diseases. But now there's been a study that was recently done at the Medical University of South Carolina that showed that if pregnant women were low in vitamin D, and when they tested, 90% of them were low in vitamin D.
Wow.
It really amps up the risk of having a preterm birth and all sorts of pregnancy complications.
So super important.
So they gave the women in the study, they gave this woman the vitamin D. They got their levels up to the therapeutic range, which is considered 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter. And when they did that, there was a dramatic reduction in the incidence of preterm birth, like a 60% reduction in preterm birth.
Unbelievable.
So there's an organization that was involved in that study called Organic and Natural, and they also have an office in Washington, D.C., and they try to influence public policy about nutrients.
So really, taking it to the next level.
So they took this study and they said, hey, let us put a structure and function claim on the bottles now, which they never let them do, and they said, okay, fine, you can do that. So this was the first company that did that. It's called Simply Good Fat, and that teeny tiny lettering there says, you know, that it's something that helps to support a healthy pregnancy.
Okay. What about some other ages? I know you have some others. Run down here what we're looking at.
Once you hit your 40s, I mean, most people have not.
Yeah, I remember those days.
They haven't been having the best diet and lifestyle, right? But what we find is that inflammation is something that really builds up the body, and we know that inflammation.
Got some of my wrists going right now,
Well, you know, arthritis, dementia, heart disease, it drives all the different chronic diseases. And so taking omega-3 fatty acids has been shown to be extremely beneficial in helping to kind of quell that inflammation. It's, you know, we used to kind of villainize fats, but now we know that they're important construction materials for the body. All our cell membranes are made out of fat. Our brain and nerves are coated with fat, so we definitely need the proper fat, which is the omega-3 fatty acids.
And what about down here on this side? What are we looking at?
So going this way, it's like, so the next decade, in the 50s, it's like what we find is as we get older, our systems start to break down, and particularly our immune system. And so this is why it's so dangerous for older people that get the, you know, the flu and so forth, where it can be deadly to them. So one trick that you can do to help to keep your immune system strong is taking a mushroom formula. Eating mushrooms is good, but you just don't get enough of the medicines that are in the mushrooms for that. So the one that I'm most impressed with is one called AHCC. It's out of Japan, been around for about 40 years, tremendous research on it. They've shown that it lowers the risk of many different kinds of cancers. It also is something that's been shown to eradicate the HPV virus that can cause cervical cancer. It's the only thing they've found that will do that. And then 2 years ago, they did a study on Lyme disease, and they showed that it was helpful in both the acute and chronic phases of Lyme disease.
Okay. All right, we can find all the information in your book.
That's right.
That's awesome. Appreciate you coming by. Let's throw up a little bit of information. Unfortunately, we got to run right now, but there you go. There's all the info for you. Go ahead and check it out. Dr. Christine Horner. I love this stuff. Great information.
Super good.
And there it is.